Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here today with the first layout I am doing for my kit review series for the November Freckled Fawn kit. Now this is a little bit different. This is it is an embellishment kit. It did not come with cards, but I did purchase the coordinating cards from the shop, so you will kind of see in this layout what those look like and how they coordinate with the kit. I don't know exactly how much I'm going to be able to do with this kit because it's not an all-inclusive kind of kit. It's more of, at least from what I can tell, it's more of a supporting kit, meaning it is something that I think would be awesome to purchase each month and kind of keep in a little basket on your desk. And it could go with all different kinds of products, all different kinds of papers, all different kinds of projects, whether you're doing cards or layouts or project life or mini albums, whatever. These supplies seem to be pretty versatile. So I'm going to see what I can make with it this month, and then I'll give you my thoughts in my end of the kit review video. The very first thing I did was lay out my photos. I'm going to use one 4x6 photo. Actually, no, I'm not even using a 4x6 photo. I'm going to change that and use all small photos. I had printed two of them twice. Too large and too small because I wasn't exactly sure what sizes I want to use on this layout. So they're all going to end up being smaller photos, which actually gives the papers a little bit more of a room to shine. And I'm going to have to pull out a few papers from my stash though in order to get some larger pieces to go on the 4x6 pockets, but I will use some of the cards. All the cards that I bought that were coordinating with the kit were all only 3x4, so there were not any 4x6 cards available in the shop unless I completely overlooked them, which, you know, is not totally insane, but I just didn't see them. So, you know, let me know if there are some, if you know of some that I just didn't see. That way I know next time. Kind of playing with a couple different things here. There was this little card that had a flare on it, and it was like the thank you for shopping with us kind of card, but I really like the red and the white and that heart. So I cut that card apart and pieced it back together, and now I just have like this black and white polka dot paper, black and white stripe paper with a red and white piece that has a heart on it. I just really like the way that looked, and I felt like it also kind of tied in a little bit more with the red that's in some of the other cards, like that diagonal chevron-y piece that has the scallops on it right above this is to the right, and then also that Hello Autumn card. Now I'm going to have to tell you about some of these photos because I just think they're kind of funny. This is just a really strange mix of photos, and you can kind of see what I'm doing as I go. By the way, I keep my scrap boxes on the shelf under my desk now, so they are right there and right handy. So anytime I'm doing a project like this, instead of cutting into a full 12x12, I will go through my scrap bin and see what I can find that coordinates. I'm not opposed to using 12x12, but I have so many scraps that I feel like it's just a better use of product to use those scraps up, if at all possible, first. So let me tell you about the photos. The top two photos the two photos on the top row are from Kaylin at preschool. He is really close, or was really close, to his buddies at preschool. Now they all go to different schools, so we don't see them as much. But he definitely had some buddies at school. And the first one to the left is just of them playing Ants in the Pants at preschool. And that's kind of a picture of Kaylin leaning over, looking in. And then the top right photo is extremely comical to me. And so what it is it's Kaylin and his friends on the playground. But it kind of looks like they're lined up like all these little tough guys. Kaylin is standing, leaning over like a little tricycle thing. And the other boys are kind of lined up by the fence like, what? It just cracks me up. I think it's funny. So those are the top two here. Now, the two photos in the middle row of my sister and her son Finn, this is my younger sister, they were at a restaurant somewhere, and she's holding Finn, and he's just a couple months old. He's not very old at all in these pictures. Let's see. Oh yeah, like 3 months, 2 months old. He's very small. Had to do some math here to count. But anyways, there's a picture of him sitting on her lap, and she's eating peach cobbler, and his face is just like, ooh, I want that. So that's what the pictures of the two of them together, and then the other picture is like a more zoomed in picture of just Finn looking at her eating this cobbler and being totally focused on this cobbler that he is not going to get, but focused on it. And then the very last photo on the bottom is really kind of difficult to see unless you know what you're looking at. But look in these still photos at the end, because this one is hilarious. So my mom lives outside of Charlotte, and she lives kind of in a private neighborhood. There's just not a whole lot of traffic. The only reason you're down there is if you live down there or you're visiting somebody that lives down there. So my mom has a good amount of land, and it's very quiet. You can't really see anybody else's house from her house. And then my aunt had purchased like some property up the street from her, and they had built a house on it, and she would come there and stay there whenever she was in town. Well, my grandmother would come with my aunt. They live in Florida, but would come with my aunt periodically and just kind of hang out for a few days with my mom before she would go back. Well, I guess they live, I guess, maybe a third of a mile, maybe a quarter of a mile. I feel like it's closer to a third of the mile up the street from where my mom, like the house that my aunt bought, is about a third or a quarter of a mile up the street from where my mom lives. And I guess they had been up at my aunt's house, either doing work or just relaxing up at my aunt's house. And my mom was using the tractor, which is what you see the front of the tractor. My mom took this picture while she's sitting on the tractor, driving down the road. And they decided to go back down to my mom's house, and my grandmother just either didn't want to walk or was too tired to walk. So she got on the front of the tractor, like on the scoop part of the tractor, and sat on the scoop while my mom drove her down the street. And this like cracks me up, because my grandmother's in her 80s. You can see her white hair kind of sticking up. She's got a pink jacket on with a teal vest over it, and then you see her white hair just kind of peeking out above the pink and teal of her jacket, and you just see her head, basically her head and her shoulders sticking up above the front of the tractor. So it's just funny. She's sitting there in the scoop riding down the road, and it was, like I said, maybe a quarter of a mile, maybe a third of a mile down the street, and I can guarantee you they didn't see any other cars because there's just nobody coming down. It's just funny. So anyways, she's all bundled up because it's kind of cold. It's not too terribly cold for people who live in North Carolina, but for someone coming up from Florida, it's definitely was cold at the time. And so that's why I put that Hello Autumn card right there. I just think it's so funny. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of embellishment. The very first thing was sorting out what cards are going to go where, and then I had to pull out a few scraps, as I mentioned, to go on the 4x6 pockets. And now I'm kind of starting with my embellishing. I've already put buddies in a little bit of that washi tape up here on this top photo of the playground. And then I'm trying to figure out, okay, what else am I going to put? I didn't want to use any more of the green alphas. So I went to my stash and pulled out a couple things. And I had to find my note. And I ended up with these Recollections alphas. And these are just, it was a pack of like three different sizes, I believe. It was a large, I think this is the smallest, and there's a medium one as well. And so I'm just writing out Playground Buddies. And I used this, it was just a scrap, but it's a pattern paper that's kind of different tones of pink, and it has brush strokes on it, basically. And so I will come back and add something a little bit more to the top, but it just says Playground Buddies right now. Now there was also this card I really like that is gray, red, and white, and it says You Are My Home with a heart. And I really like that card, but I felt like I needed to use that chevron piece because it tied in the yellow and the red and the teal. It just brought all the colors together. But it is kind of bold on its own, so I wanted to make it a filler card and put something on top. So I just cut out this one, and then I'm going to add it right to the top of that, and then just add a sticker to it here in a moment. Kind of looking through, seeing what I want to add. So there are these little flags, which I'm working with right now. They're like, I thought they were epoxy flags, but they're actually kind of rubbery so that you can bend them around the paper clip. And that's the same thing that these hearts are. Well, I really like the little paper clips. But but I also kind of feel like it's a little bit of a waste of a product. I know they're beautiful and a lot of people will use them exactly how they're made, but I trimmed them out and I cut off the little connector piece between the two pieces, and I'm going to use them as individual embellishments. So like I'll have two hearts now instead of just a paper clip with the heart on it. I'll have the little banners or the little flags, pink flags with the pink heart, and so on and so forth. Now, I also really like using paper clips, so square paper clips are kind of cool. So I'm definitely not missing out. I'm actually probably adding a little bit because I am now going to be using those rubbery epoxy sticker things as stickers, and then I'll be using the paper clips as true paper clips, but only as square paper clips. They're really cool looking, actually. All right, now I'm going to go in and add a few little bits of journaling. So that bottom card to the right has the little leaf pattern. It has the glassine bag that came in the kit, and it has that little card that I cut apart, and then it also has a sticker that says this month, and it just kind of, it's a little bit of a title card without really being a title card. It's a filler 4x6 card, which I don't typically have a whole lot of those, so that was kind of fun to make. And then I am going to go back here and add some of those. I tried the paper clip there to see if it works, but I don't really like it. But I pull out the rest of those, or not the rest of them, but some of those wood veneer that are in those leaves, and I go ahead and add them here. I had one on that other card that says Hello Autumn, which you can see there, but I feel like I needed something somewhere else. And that little label that I added to the Hello Autumn card, that was again an add-on that I added to the kit from the shop. The shop really has a lot of great options for you, so if you need more embellishments or more variety, such as including those 3x4 cards, make sure you check out the shop before you place your order. The labels actually had 2 sheets of labels, so I'm going to use the heck out of those. And what I'm writing is just Kaylin and his buddies playing ants in your pants at preschool. And I did add a sticker from that like textured sticker sheet, and it just says us right now, and that's also the same sticker sheet that the this month came off of. I had to use one of these little puffy coffee cups because they're so cute. Oh my gosh, I love them. And then I'm just going to add one of the little red labels again underneath of it, and it's going to say it's getting cold out. And it's just kind of a picture symbolizing that, oh, it's getting cold out, time for coffee. And that's exactly what this is. I don't like the way that looks, so I'm going to use the other label and fix it. It wasn't centered, and that bothers me. I either want it purposely centered or not centered at all, and that was kind of like an in-between where I tried to make it centered but didn't really think about what I was writing beforehand, so I had to fix it. Now I'm getting to the point in my layout where I start looking around and I start going, okay, what else do I need to do? What do I need to add? What's going on? Add a little piece of red, and this is just an offcut from that Hello Autumn card. I'm adding a little bit of that to here to the top just to bring in a little bit more red. I really start to look at the distribution of color on the layout and see if there's anything that I need to duplicate, remove, add, or change, really. I do keep a little box of embellishments that are almost used up kind of beside my desk, so any opportunity I get to just pull those out and flip through to see if there's anything that I need, this is the type of thing what I do. So like right now I'll put out this sticker sheet with some gray, white, and black word stickers on it, and I'm pulling off a few of them. I'm going to add happiness to this top card, home down here to the Hello Autumn card, and I think that might be it. Yep, that's it. That memory sticker is actually from that textured sticker sheet as well, and I'm going to add this Freckled Fawn glittered arrow, and that's going to finish it off. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed, please, and also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and stay tuned because I have the second layout using the Freckled Fawn kit already completed. Alright guys, thank you so much. Bye!